If you'd like to work through the exercises in this video series for either PHP or ColdFusion, you'll need to install the server stack that includes MySQL and PHP. Even if you're working in ColdFusion, I'll still be using the MySQL version that's included with the server stack. If you're working in ColdFusion and you already have MySQL installed, you can use that version of MySQL instead. For Windows developers, I recommend the WAMP server product. This is a free server bundle that you can download without any registration or license fee. Go to the URL on the screen, www.wampserver.com/en, and from there click the Downloads link. Download the most recent version of WAMP Server. Note the warning on the screen that if you have an older version of WAMP Server already installed, you should always uninstall it and delete its directory before installing this newer version. Once you've downloaded the installer executable to your system, you can start it up. I've downloaded it to my desktop, so I'll double-click it. Then I'll click Run to get started. Once again, you're warned about not trying to upgrade from an older version of the product. In the next screen, you simply click through, take a look at the license agreement, and if you accept it, click the appropriate radio button and Next. Then indicate where you want to install WAMP Server. The default location for the WAMP server is in a folder named WAMP under the C drive root. I'll accept that default location. If you decide to put it somewhere else on your system, just make any required adjustments in the later videos. In the next screen, you're asked whether you want certain icons, a quick launch icon and a desktop icon. I'll go ahead and add a desktop icon so that I can easily start WAMP server from my desktop, and click Next. Finally, click Install. The installation just takes a few moments as files are copied over to your system. The WAMP server, as described previously, includes Apache, MySQL, and PHP. It also includes an easy administrative interface that appears in your Windows system tray that allows you to stop and start individual services or all of the services as a group. If your system already has Firefox, you'll be asked whether you want to use that as the default browser with WAMP. I typically use Firefox for all of my testing, so I'll click Yes. This screen asks for PHP mail parameters. It requests an SMTP server that can be used to send email, and an email address that will be used as the administrator email under Apache. If you don't have this information or you simply don't want to use it, you can leave this alone. Or, if you have this information and understand how it's used, fill in the information as appropriate. Finally, click Finish. If you leave the option selected, the WAMP server will be started right away. When you start the WAMP server, it's represented by an icon in your system tray. The icon looks like a gauge, and if it's all white, that means everything started up correctly. You can click that icon, and you'll see an administrative menu pop up. And from there, you can click on Localhost. This will take you to the home page of your WAMP server. You should see the WAMP server home page open, and down toward the bottom some links to various tools. For example, there's a tool called PHP MyAdmin, which you'll be using in later exercises to manage your MySQL server installation. If you click the PHP MyAdmin link, it will show you the current state of the MySQL server. Other options include menu choices to stop and start all services, or to stop and start individual services such as Apache and MySQL. So that's a look at how to install WAMP server in your Windows environment. Instead of installing Apache, PHP, and MySQL separately, you can install the whole thing in a single process and then start and stop the servers all at the same time. If you have any trouble with this installation or with starting up the server, make sure that you don't have any other web servers running on your system, such as Internet Information Services. And if you do, all you have to do is go into your Services panel, shut down Internet Information Services, and then retry starting the WAMP server product. Later on, to turn off the server, you can go to the System tray, right-click on the icon, and select Exit, and that shuts down the entire server and all of its components. To restart the server later on, go to your Windows menu, locate the Start WAMP Server menu icon, and select it, and the server will start up again.